Welcome to episode number 3 of stocks that Ark Invest think will double over the next 5 years. Today we're going to talk about Materialise, stock ticker symbol MTLS. It's a 3D printing company and is currently one of Ark Invest and Cathie Wood's favorite stocks right now. Currently, it is the second largest holding in their ARKQ ETF, and not only that, but also billionaire investor and venture capitalist Chamath recently came out and said how he is a big supporter of the 3D printing industry and he thinks it is going to explode over the next 5 to 10 years.
3D printing has been held back by autos in particular and now aerospace, but we think crisis creates opportunity and that it is going to accelerate the demand for 3D printing.
So in today's video, I'm first going to go over exactly what Cathie Wood and Ark Invest have to say about Materialise, why they're betting big on this company moving forward. After that, I'm going to talk about what Chamath, billionaire investor and venture capitalist, has to say about 3D printing as well. And finally, at the end of the video, I'm going to give you my take on Materialise, where I see it going in the future. For those of you who are new here, my name is Michael. I'm a 21-year-old investor, entrepreneur, and full-time college student. The past 30 days, I've made about $175,000 in one of the many investment accounts that I share with you in our private group on Patreon. So if you'd like to know more about what stocks I'm buying and what stocks I'm selling in our $575,000 public trading account in our group, if you want exclusive content that I don't share on YouTube, and if you want pre-release access to my new show called The Stock Room, where I talk about stocks with my 80-year-old friend who's a millionaire investor and entrepreneur, then make sure to join our group using the link down below. We only have a few spots left. So anyways, let's talk about Materialise. Materialise is a 3D printing company that offers a range of software solutions for 3D printing as well as 3D printing services. They are one of the leaders in this space and their company has been around for 30 years since 1990. They've been around longer than basically every other competitor in this industry, and now with the advancements in technology, Cathie Wood thinks it's going to be a huge help to the aerospace industry as well as medical industry as well.
Aerospace companies like Boeing and Airbus, their gross margins are in the 15 to 20% range. 3D printing, now that the FAA is approving it, 3D printing can cut those costs by up to 90%, as well as lower the weight and form factors of the various parts in engines and shrink the number of parts. So aerospace, we think, given the turmoil and trouble it's in right now, it is going to seek out even more aggressively some of these new technologies that are going to help it get back to profitability.
So one of the challenges with the aerospace industry as well as the auto industry is costs. Costs are always one of the biggest challenge to overcome in these industries. They're always trying to figure out ways that they can reduce their costs, make their processes more efficient. And Cathie Wood explains how with Materialise, who is the pioneer in 3D printing and additive manufacturing, they're aiming to help these businesses by reducing their costs significantly. Not only that, but billionaire investor and venture capitalist Chamath, he explained recently how additive manufacturing and 3D printing is one of his largest climate change investments ever to date. And he explained how now with better technology in the 3D printing space, they're going to be able to implement this with high volume production, help companies drive down their costs, which will help all industries across the board. Right now, Materialise, like many 3D printing companies, have struggled this year due to the pandemic, and Materialise's revenue is down about 20% from last year at this time. They're making cost-cutting adjustments just like all the other companies in their industry, and this isn't something to really be worried about right now because the 3D printing industry, I don't see this as going away anytime soon. I think it's going to be a major help to companies in the future. It's just right now with everything going on with the pandemic, they struggled a bit earlier this year, but now I think as businesses ramp up production, especially companies like Tesla and other auto manufacturers, I think they're going to be looking to integrate 3D printing even more into the future. Recently, Tesla came out and announced they are looking to rapidly grow their 3D printing manufacturing in their factories. They're looking to cut costs, and this is a more efficient way, a better way for them to produce their vehicles. So that's a good sign. We're seeing Tesla, who's really the innovator and the disruptor in the automotive industry, looking more towards 3D printing, and that probably means we'll see other auto companies follow soon after them. In addition to this, Materialise is up over 200% over the last year, and Ark Invest has been adding more and more to their position in this company in recent months. Currently, it makes up 7.12% of their entire ARKQ ETF, which is the second largest holding. Currently, they own about 2 million shares of Materialise, which comes to $115 million. They've been increasing this position a lot as of recently, and Cathie Wood says that she really likes the software aspect of Materialise, what they're doing with 3D printing software, making it easier for the medical industry, the automotive industry, as well as the aerospace industry.
The other area that 3D printing has changed completely is in the medical space, hearing aids. I think 95% of all hearing aids in the world are 3D printed. Well, there are many medical many medical applications, ultimately hips and knees and, that are going to submit to 3D printing because 3D printing allows for such incredible customization. So it's perfect for the high value medical space, for aerospace and autos. And, autos and aerospace in real trouble. They are going to be turning to new technologies that are going to help them lower their costs, lower the fuel consumption in terms of weight, and ultimately create different form factors. When we go autonomous, we're going to see that some of us might want to take an autonomous vehicle from New York to Boston and be able to sleep in it, whereas others just want to get across town, and it can be a very much smaller, or across campus, it can be much smaller. So we think that entire autos ultimately will be 3D printed.
She goes on to explain how essentially 3D printing allows companies to more customize any aspect of their business, whether it's a medical company looking to 3D print hearing aid or for knee replacement or hip replacement surgery. She explains how with 3D printing, they can really customize what they need to do, and it's very easy to do it. With traditional manufacturing, it's not easy to customize something once you have it running on a production line, but with 3D printing, it's fairly simple, she explained. On top of this, it's also better for the environment because with 3D printing, all of the printers are electric, so they just plug in, they use electricity, which is going to be better as we're moving more towards sustainable energy and renewable resources. Companies right now are always looking for ways to cut down on their carbon emissions, and this will be one way that they can also do it. So finally, looking at Materialise's stock. Right now, their revenue is very, very low compared to their market cap. Their revenue is about $40 million. They're losing money, and they're valued at $3 billion. We all know that losing money in the short term isn't a big deal because long term, the outlook for the company could be very different. So moving forward, what I see for Materialise moving forward is you either can invest in it two ways. Invest directly into the stock, MTLS, or invest into ARKQ. In my opinion, specifically with Materialise and 3D printing space, I would more likely invest in ARKQ over picking an individual 3D printing stock. ARKQ has performed very well over the last couple of years, and I think it's going to continue to perform very well. However, you don't know which 3D printing company is going to come out on top. So while this is one of their largest holdings, Materialise for ARKQ, I would prefer to invest in ARKQ over investing in something like directly in Materialise or another 3D printing company like Desktop Metal. That's just my opinion, and you can invest directly into them if you'd like. But in my opinion, I would want to have a little less risk. I might not have as much upside, but I just think it is a little smarter move to invest in an ETF that covers more than one 3D company, so you limit your downside if one fails. So anyways, that's what's going on with Materialise and how Ark Invest thinks it is a great investment moving forward. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your 4 free stocks, each valued up to $1,600 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.